Good evening from Laconia High School in Laconia, New Hampshire. I'm Charlie Sherman along with Jim Fabiano. This evening, we bring you game 2 of our schedule for the Somersworth Hilltoppers. They come into this game coming off of an impressive 21-0 victory last weekend over Monadnock High School, a game in which Monadnock was heavily favored going into that ball game. Coming into this game, going up against the Sachems of Laconia High School. It's the season opener for Laconia, but they are a team to be reckoned with as they are every season. Last year, they finished up with a record of 9-1. They have been hurt a bit by graduation, but they do have 4 returning starters on offense and 2 on defense. And Jim, any time that Somersworth comes to Laconia, it seems Coach Key's team always has his hands full.
Well, these two teams are great rivalries. They go back a number of years. And what we've seen last week, Charlie, of Somersworth, everyone was surprised, I guess, with the exception of the players. The big gun there was, as you know, was Ken Strong and Crombie. If they have the same kind of a night tonight as they did Friday, they'll probably see a big V.
Well, Kevin Strong was injured in the second half of the ball game against Monadnock. He left the game with a badly sprained ankle. He is in uniform, and he is scheduled to start tonight at quarterback. The rest of the backfield is intact as well for the Somersworth Hilltoppers. With Strong in the straight tees, Mike Chapman, Jason Pluff, and Chris Crombie. We'll be back with the start of tonight's ball game right after these messages.
Hardee's Market and Deli, located at 303 Main Street in Somersworth. For years, the most popular place in town for subs and sandwiches. And just look at the bountiful and delicious helpings carefully prepared just for you. Call in or fax your order ahead of time. Hardee's has one of the largest coolers in town, and that means the coldest and the most refreshing of beverages, featuring Pepsi by the case, the 6-pack, or by the individual can. Remember that Hardee's is a full-service market and deli, and that now includes video rentals as well as Megabucks tickets. Stop by and say hello to Gino and Chris, Somersworth's happiest couple, at Hardee's Market and Deli, located at 303 Main Street in Somersworth.
Somersworth Hilltoppers with a record of 1-0, one of the few teams to play a game already this season. As you well know by now, they opened their season in impressive fashion last Saturday afternoon at Somersworth High School with a victory over Monadnock. Deep for the Somersworth Hilltoppers, number 8, Chris Crombie, and number 24, Jason Pluff. Booting it.
Which the big white will be receiving.
Big guy booting it is Will Ratliff for Laconia. And Ratliff gets over, good end-over-end kick, taken by Pluff at his own 20, up to the 25, to the 30, 35, 40. And Pluff still on his feet at midfield into Laconia territory, and finally brought down at the 43-yard line. And what a fine return by Jason Pluff.
That certainly was, Charlie. Give a lot of credit to that defense. Some good blocking right down the middle.
Now, just what Somersworth wants to do in this game, they need to attack early. They need to get the points on the scoreboard, as they did last week against Monadnock, and take control offensively early. Once again, Somersworth working out of the straight tee this season. Calling the signals, Kevin Strong. Handoff. And going absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage by a slew of the Rick jerseys.
So the first carry doesn't go very far for Somersworth. They'll mark it for a loss of about a half yard, and it'll be 2nd down and 11 for the Hilltoppers. Opening minutes of play here at Laconia High School.
This will be the second week in a row that the line will be outweighed.
And a quick mix-up of signals, and Somersworth quickly calls a timeout, and after one offensive play, Coach Keys is a little bit concerned. So the timeout on the field, we've got 11:13 to play in the first quarter. The score, Somersworth nothing and Laconia nothing. We'll be right back.
Any occasion can be made memorable with Feliciano's limousine service of Rochester. Evenings on the town, weddings, proms, concerts, airport service, any special occasion at all. Professionally trained and fully uniformed chauffeurs, combined with the finest vehicles around, make Feliciano's New England's foremost limousine service. You'll have luxury, comfort, style, right at your fingertips. It's a day or night to remember forever. Feliciano's limousine service of Rochester.
Coach Keys has had his conference with his quarterback and his offensive unit. And after one offensive play, Somersworth will try it again. They lost about a half yard on the play. It's going to be a 2nd and 11 from the 43-yard line of Laconia. Kevin Strong calling the signals. Strong pitches it. Chapman still with it, turning the corner at the 40 and knocked out of bounds.
Oh.
Takes down a photographer. What an excellent tackle. Boy, she went down perfectly too, camera and all. She's okay. You got to be prepared, right, Jim, if you're on the sidelines.
I tell you, Chapman showed some good legs on that one. He was brought down by Dan Tebow.
So Chapman turning the corner at the 40 and then being pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Picks up 7.5 yards in the play. Call it 7, and it'll be a 3rd and 3.
Dan stands at 5'6", 148 pounds.
Ball at the 35-yard line. Strong again, hands it this time to Crombie. Crombie doesn't get anywhere. He's pulled down quickly by Charlie Poison.
That was a big play. That was 3rd down in yardage.
So it's the first 4th down situation for the Hilltoppers in their first possession. Too far for a field goal, too short to punt it, so they will obviously go for it and try and pick up the 3 yards for the first down. Entering the game for Somersworth is, who is that, number 12? We don't even have a number 12 in our roster here, Jim. There we go again.
They better watch out for that delay a game. It's a long time.
So Somersworth will go for it. They'll try and pick up the 3 yards of the 4th down play. 4th and 3 from the 35. Handoff is fake. Strong back to pass, looking deep. It's intended for number 45, Jamie DeCormier, and it is overthrown by a couple of yards, and Somersworth will relinquish the ball.
So Kevin did a great job on that, going back and giving a bullet pass.
But it was overthrown. Jamie DeCormier just not there. Turned around and the ball was overthrown by about 3 or 4 yards. So Somersworth gives up possession of the football and Laconia takes over. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line in their own territory. 5:22 to play first quarter.
Key's thinking must be, let's give him the ball because I know we can hold him.
Running down the Laconia backfield, Aaron Jones is the quarterback. Jason Shute, J.J. Cormier, and Scott Jagier are in the backfield. First play is a pass, and it's complete down the sideline to the wide receiver, C.J. Jacobs. Jacobs finally brought down at the 40, see where they mark it, 44-yard line, just short of a first down. So it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
That was a well-executed play. He just went out to the flank, and he was wide open.
So they come out passing on the first play from scrimmage. Aaron Jones looking and finding C.J. Jacobs. Barreling through and still on his feet. And picking up enough yardage for the first down is number 29, Jason Shute. So Shute picks up some solid yardage, and it's a first down. And Laconia has shown that on their first possession they are able to move the football. They are now into Somersworth territory, 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line.
That was a real quick opening play, right off tackle. You have Aaron Jones, the quarterback. This is 3rd year behind the center, so he's got the experience behind him.
1st and 10 from the 48. Jones hands it off. And Scott Jagier is not going anywhere.
That's Captain George Funniark. Broke through. He made about 3 or 4 of those tackles last week against
Monadnock, Jim. The Huskies. That makes it a 2nd and 13 situation, a loss of 3 on the play. Jones with the count, hands it off again to Jagier. Jagier, it's down to about just inside the 50-yard line. Still short of a first down, picks up maybe 2 yards in the play, and it's going to be a 3rd and 2.
Beautiful tackle there by Derek Kerrigan. He's bumped right into the runner.
Ball just short of the midfield stripe. 8:20 to play, no score here at Laconia High School. Somersworth and the Sachems of Laconia High. Ball just by the hash mark.
Big play coming up right now.
Indeed, big 3rd down play. Back to pass, looking downfield, and finds his open man, Scott Jaguar. Jaguar still on his feet, dodges one tackle at the 30, still on his feet to the 20, 15, down to the 10, to the 5, and Jaguar brings it in for the touchdown. Broke a key tackle, Jim, at about the 40-yard line, and then was scot-free the rest of the way. Scott Jaguar bringing it in for the touchdown. Play covers 49 yards, and Laconia has taken the lead 6-0.
You talk about timing. That play was right on the button. He put his arms outstretched, took it on the run, and zigzagged right into the end zone.
So Somersworth trailing early. First possession, an impressive one for Laconia.
I guess Key's hoping now that he punted that ball.
49-yard pass play. They're going to go for the kick for the extra point. Ball is down. Kick is up, and it has plenty to it. Jamie DeCormier boots it through the uprights, and Somersworth trails now as Laconia takes the lead 7-0 with 7:54 to play in the first quarter. We'll return right after these messages.
Make your home beautiful at New England Furniture Company, Route 11 in Farmington. Your authorized factory dealer for the most respected names in the business, such as Bassett, Broyhill, Kincaid, and Lane. Factory direct for the lowest prices in the Seacoast. Shop around and you will agree. Everything for the home for any size family. And look at all the dining room sets that are available. Value, quality, style, plus the lowest prices at New England Furniture Company in Farmington. Open 7 days a week.
Very quickly, our Care Pharmacy scoreboard shows the Somersworth Hilltoppers trailing early. Laconia with a 7-0 lead with 7:54 to play in the first quarter. First possession. And they've shown that they can not only move the ball on the ground, but they have the ability to pass it as well, as you saw in that 48-yard touchdown pass play from quarterback Aaron Jones to Scott Jaguar. Bill Ratliff will boot it again. Deep for the Somersworth Hilltoppers. Number 8, Chris Crombie, and number 24, Jason Pluff. This time, Pluff picks it up on a bounce at his 10, up to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, still on his feet, heading for the sidelines to the 30. Now he wants to cut and doesn't get far as he gets horse-collared at about the 32-yard line. Jason Pluff with a 22-yard return on that kick. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's not too bad of field position.
7:45 to play, first quarter. Kevin Strong, who was injured in the season opener, back at quarterback, hands it off, and barreling forward for maybe a yard is Mike Chapman, before he's brought down on the tackle by Scott Jaguar, the man who just scored the touchdown for Laconia. Jaguar, one of the captains. Aaron Jones, the quarterback, is a captain, as is Scott Jaguar and Mark McKissock. For Somersworth, it's George Fournier, Chris Crombie, and Chris Sorecchia, the team leaders. 2nd and about 8 for the Toppers. Hand off this time to Pluff. Pluff on the move. Midfield, down to 45 to the 40. One man to beat, down to the 20. 15 to the 10, heading for the sidelines. Desperation tackle attempt, no good. And Jason Pluff brings it in for the touchdown.
There are no flags on that field.
Jason Pluff breaking away.
Charlie, this Topper team is showing something with speed.
And that play covered, let's see, 50, 60, 72 yards.
5.
Jason Pluff gets the Hilltoppers right back in this football game with 6:52 to play in the first quarter. And the point after attempt will be by Matt Hamilton. Ball is down, kick is up, and it's low and off to the left.
Big point.
So the point after is no good, and the Hilltoppers trail it by a score of 7-6. And we're going to take a break. And as you can see, our Care Pharmacy scoreboard shows it. Laconia 7 and Somersworth 6.
Tri-City Dodge, Route 16 in Somersworth, a dealership dedicated to service. Feel like part of the family with people who genuinely care instead of pressuring you to sign. They work extraordinarily hard to get you the best buy possible in the entire Seacoast. That's why Tri-City Dodge means quality, service, and honest value to so many repeat customers. Stop by and look over the extensive inventory. Feel the quality. See the savings. Find out why so many people recommend Tri-City Dodge, Route 16 in Somersworth.
So the Toppers get right back in this ball game. The point after by Hamilton is no good, but the Somersworth Hilltoppers trailing it by a score of 7-6 on that impressive 72-yard touchdown scamper by Jason Pluff. Matt Hamilton will kick it off for Somersworth. Deep are number 80, Chris Snyder. And it goes to Snyder at the 20, 25, and knocked out of bounds at the 26-yard line by a host of Hilltoppers.
Tom McKillian was in on the first tackle.
See Dan Devlin over there. A little shoving. Quickly broken up by the referee, and it'll be Laconia's ball very quickly. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line of Laconia.
Officials for tonight's game will be the referee Ed Main, umpire Stan Marrow, head linesman Gene Sieber, line judge Nate Adams, and back judge Bert Lollar.
Aaron Jones, the quarterback, bringing his team out of the huddle. Long count. Hands it off, and again finding the hole of Scott Jaguar. Jaguar gets up to the 30-yard line. And Jaguar brought down on the tackle by number 12 of the Somersworth Hilltoppers, Tony Faletra. Clock ticking, 6.5 minutes to play, first quarter. Laconia leading it 7-6.
Mike Chapman was on that play with Tony.
Second and 5 for the Sachems. This time he goes to his other back, Jason Shute. We got a flag on the play. Shute doesn't get very far.
Smell that one.
Bringing Shute down is Mike Chapman at the bottom of the pile. Chapman in a number of tackles early on. And there's a penalty marker, as you can see, and it appears it's going to be against the Sachems. Referee conferring with co-captain Chris Serecchia.
Yeah, this is a tough one to call. Either third down or second down on long yardage.
What would you do, Coach?
They're going to take
the penalty. Sure, push him deep, push him back. I'll mark it down at the 21-yard line as they walk off 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 15.
Do you think he'll put this one in the air?
I think he will. Worked successfully in the first drive. Why not try it again?
No one playing deep for the Toppers.
See what Coach Jim Fitzgerald has up his sleeve for the Sachems. Yes, indeed, he wants to throw, but gets pressure. Throws it away. And it's completed. Wow, somehow C.J. Jacobs managed to get the ball as Aaron Jones was on his way down, walking right in on there for Somersworth.
Yeah, they smelled that right out. You had
Jamie Bickford was all over him.
Eric Gilbert made the tackle.
But the play works. Only picks up 2 yards, though, Jim. It looked better than it was productive.
And he threw a bullet right at him.
As he was on his way down, Jamie Bickford all over quarterback Aaron Jones. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 13 from the 23-yard line. Jones looking, wants to keep it himself this time. Now he pitches it out.
Danger.
Jaguar gets down to the 25-yard line. And kind of a botched play. Jaguar picks up a couple of yards, but it's going to be way short. Matter of fact, he picks up a yard, and it's going to be 4th and 10.
Chris Serecchia on that tackle stayed right with him.
Jaguar gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll be 4th and 10 from the 26-yard line, and it'll be booted away by the Sachems. Chris Crombie will be back for Somersworth, and punting it, or preparing to punt it, is number 45, Jamie DeCormier. Cormier to his own 15.
Nice snap.
It's away a coffin corner. Unfortunately, 50 yards short. Goes out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. So it'll be good field position for the Somersworth Hilltoppers. They'll mark it off at the 45-yard line, and Somersworth will have an opportunity once again to have some good field position and to get right back into this ball game. They trail it by 1 point. The difference, a missed point after attempt.
This should be a high-scoring ball game, Charles, with the veterans that Satchams have, and especially with Jones, the quarterback, third year behind it, the center.
Somersworth again out of the straight tee. Strong handing it to Crombie. Crombie drops the ball. I think he got back on top of it.
He recovered his own
fumble. Broke through the hole, get down to the 48-yard line. Make it the 47 of Laconia. Dropped the ball and just pounced right on top of it again. So a gain of 7 yards on the play for Crombie.
On that opening play, he had Chris Crombie right with him. Who carried that ball? Was
Crombie carried that. It was his twin brother.
Player right aside of him. Oh, big hole. Take a Funya. We'll give it to Funya.
Yeah, why not? He's a nice guy. Toppers driving. 2nd and 4.
Oh, they got that one.
And doesn't look like Chapman's going anywhere this time. Mike Chapman brought down quickly. In on the tackle is the big guy, looks like number 88. It is McGuire. Corin McGuire. Snyder and McGuire.
Chris Snyder, he stands at 6'3", 198 pounds.
So it's going to be a pleasure for Somersworth to go up against a team that doesn't have such a big front four. Thus far, the first 2 weeks of the season, they've seen nothing but monsters in front of them.
They have them again. They have Mark Mazarek, the captain, 6'5", 278 pounds.
3rd and 5 for Somersworth, 2:56, clock ticking, first quarter. Strong again with the long count, pitches it out to Crombie. Crombie tries to turn the corner at midfield, and he's going to lose a couple of yards on the play as he's forced out of bounds. So now Somersworth will be forced to give up the football, and back and forth we go. Toppers will boot it away. They'll mark it at the 48-yard line, so it'll officially be a 4th and 7. Should put Laconia deep in their own territory.
Toppers seem to be keeping that ball on the ground. Need the bounce.
Eric Gilbert's kick gets a good bounce down to the 15, 14 still moving, and finally down at the 13-yard line. So Gilbert gets away a good one.
You know, that's a dangerous play. I think number 24 down that ball by just touching it. Just touching the ball doesn't make it dead.
That's right. We saw that last week against Monadnock. It's a live ball.
Till that whistle blows.
The opposition can just touch it, the team that kicks it. But if you're an offensive player and you just pat it, that's considered possession. And that is a live ball. 1st and 10 for the Sachums, deep in their own territory. Ball at the 13-yard line.
Spreading wide.
2 receivers split. Hands it instead up the middle. And barreling forward for a couple of yards is Jason Shute. Shute brought down on the tackle there.
Looks like
number 12, Tony Filetra.
And
Chapman in there again.
Chapman.
Picks up 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 3. 2 minutes straight up in the first quarter.
30. Scott Brown was in on that last tackle also.
Matt Geyer split wide to the right. Hand off again up the middle and breaking through is Jason Shute for more than enough for the first down. And looks like we have an injured player down there as well.
Yeah,
for Somersworth, looks like number 44 for the Toppers, Eric Gilbert.
Yeah, he's the one that made the tackle.
Now he's up. He seems to be walking around okay. So Gilbert makes the tackle, but the carry is a good one for Jason Shute. Gets it down to the 34-yard line. And it's a first down. 1st and 10 for the Sachums. Hand off again. And this time Jaguar tries to turn the corner and can't. Gets knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Eric Gilbert on the play again.
Gilbert all over the field for the Toppers. And he grind out a few yards on it again. Another pickup of 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 38.
They're alternating between the wide sweeps and off-tackle plays.
Surprised he hasn't passed more, Jim. He showed some early success, quarterback Aaron Jones, hitting his receiver C.J. Jacobs, but he's only opted to throw 3 passes.
Agree with you, Charlie, on that, because there's no secondary on the toppers.
Back to pass, wants to throw it this time, getting some pressure, gets it away, and it's overthrown well over the head of the intended receiver, Chris Snyder. Snyder had open field, but probably the reason for it is the ball was overthrown by quite a bit.
He was rushed on that pass by Derek Kerrigan.
That'll make it a 3rd and 5 situation for Laconia. And once again, we'll see what Coach Jim Fitzgerald has in his bag of tricks. Good crowd on hand tonight, although the seats are virtually empty down in front of us because they sell reserved seating for $5, and general admission, I guess, is a couple of bucks here in Laconia, and most people have opted for the general admission seats. Back to pass again, finding Snyder this time at the 45 to the 50-45, and pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. On the tackle for the Somersworth Hilltoppers is number 14, Tommy O'Connor.
Yeah, he had Scott Brown faked out on that one.
So the pass once again successful for Laconia as they now break into Somersworth territory. And it's 1st and 10 for the Sachems from the 41-yard line of Somersworth. Operating out of the eye this time. Jaguar and Shooter the backs. Handoff. Oh, to Jaguar, and Jaguar met right at the line of scrimmage.
And that was
what a play by
Wayne McKay.
What a play by McKay.
Number 55.
Okay, just right there at the line of scrimmage waiting for him. And Jaguar gets nowhere.
Wayne McKay tips the scales at 240, Charlie. 6'3" and is only a freshman.
Looked like a brick wall there to Jaguar. Jaguar just went right up into him, and he wasn't going anywhere.
There's a pass.
Wants a pass. Now Aaron turns the corner. He's going to keep it himself. Picks up a few yards. Gets down to the 45-yard line. Brought down on the play by, looked like Eric Gilbert in there.
12.
3rd and 4. Comes up short on the first down try on the quarterback keeper by quarterback Aaron Jones. So it'll be a third and 4 situation. And the clock runs out. So we have played 1 quarter of football here in Laconia. And at the end of 1 quarter of football, our Care Pharmacy scoreboard shows the Sachems of Laconia High School 7, the Hilltoppers of Somersworth 6. We'll be back with second quarter action right after these messages.
Purity Superstore is now open in Rochester. Take a fresh look at Purity with a brand new in-store pharmacy, expanded video department, expanded floral shop, new Breadworks bakery, plus the finest meat shop in the Tri-City area.
Our new meat shop is the most innovative one-stop shopping meat department north of Boston.
Purity Supreme is the only supermarket in Rochester that offers you great weekly specials, everyday low prices, and double coupons.
No other supermarket in Rochester gives you more ways to save. Purity Superstore, open 24 hours.
We're just about ready for second quarter action. Somersworth on defense, and the Sachems of Laconia
big play coming up, Charlie. 3rd down.
3rd and 4.
He's got it. It's close.
And it's going to be close. I don't know, Jim. I don't think he made it.
Well, no, he's giving him right to the line. He's giving him right on the 30-yard line. Spotting it.
He gives it to him. Yeah, you're right. Called again. I am not very effective on calling those plays.
Well, he gave him a real good spot on that one.
I want to remind our viewers that our Care Pharmacy scoreboard is brought to you indeed by Care Pharmacy, with locations throughout the Seacoast, including Rochester, at the Weeks Traffic Circle, of course, and soon to have their new and large location at the Old Star Market in Rochester. Still on the move and bringing it out of bounds is quarterback Aaron Jones. So Jones doing a little bit of the work himself.
Yeah, that was tackled by 45. Captain Chris Shericchio on that.
Picks up 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5. They mark it right on the 25-yard line of Somersworth.
They're keeping it on the ground. As long as it's successful, they'll keep on doing it.
Handoff this time. Right up the middle goes Jason Shute. Shute brought down there by number 33
Chapman.
from the Somersworth Hilltoppers, Mike Chapman. Grinding away in the yardage, though. Picks up about 3 more on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2. All down at the 22-yard line. So the Sachems are moving. 11 minutes to play in the first half. Laconia with a 7-6 lead. Quick handoff again. Quickly. Jason Shute with enough for the first down. No. Oh, Shute picks up the first down. He's brought down on the tackle.
55.
Like number 73. Well, Wayne McKay was in there, but also looked like number 73, Bob Gosselin. But it's enough for the first down and then some. And another first down for Laconia. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Aaron Jones doing a good job of moving the offense. Fakes it. Now he wants to pass. Looking. Finds his receiver Snyder, but overthrows him.
And he was open, too.
Chris Snyder wide open, but overthrown again. That makes it a 2nd and 10. Big series for Laconia. Season opener for the Sachems. Somersworth, in case you haven't heard already, opened their season early this year, last Saturday, before the kids even returned to school. Hilltoppers won their season opener against Monadnock, 21-0.
Charlie, I think they're going to work on number 30, Scott Brown, over there on those passes. He's wide open.
Still on his feet, Jaguar. And he gets down to just inside the, let's see, the yard mark is at the 9-yard line. I guess he's short of the first down. Gets down to about the 10, maybe the 11-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd and 2.
That was another tackle by Chris Shericchio, the captain.
But they are picking up the yardage.
And they're following their blockers beautiful, right through that line.
Doing a good job offensively. Matt Geyer wide to the left. Hands it again. Jaguar, he's going nowhere this time. Very quickly brought down on the tackle by a host of Somersworth players once again.
Yeah,
and there's Scott Brown that time.
Scott Brown,
your man
did
Brown.
the job.
They tried running on him and keying on him, and Scott Brown was right there that time.
This is where the Somersworth Toppers have to hunker down and stop that line.
Well, we've got 9:19 to play in the first half, and as we check our Care Pharmacy scoreboard, it's Laconia 7, Somersworth 6. We'll return right after this message.
Nard's TV and Appliance Store, 74 High Street in Somersworth, carrying a full line of GE products. And now featuring the well-known and well-respected line of Hotpoint appliances. Now you have your choice of beautiful and the most modern up-to-date appliances at reasonable prices. Nard's is famous for its selection of TVs, all sizes and styles from the most economical to the wide screen, plus the latest in VCR equipment and cameras. And remember that Nard's always services what they sell. Nard's TV and Appliance Store now featuring GE and Hotpoint, 74 High Street in Somersworth.
Big 4th down play for Laconia, 4th and 2. Jason Mead wide to the left. Snyder to the right. Big 4th down play. Wants to pass. Dodges one tackle. Still in trouble. Going back. Just tosses it up. There's nothing but red shirts around. but unable to hold on to the football.
No,
It's C.J. Jacobs.
Incomplete.
Incomplete. Jacobs unable to hold on to the football. It was sort of a desperation pass by Aaron Jones. He tossed it up. There were 3 red jerseys in the vicinity. C.J. Jacobs was there, came down in his arms, and Jacobs couldn't hold on to the football, and Laconia will turn it over.
And he was hammered on that tackle.
He did go down hard, Jim, but the ball was right to him. I mean, it just was kind of lofted by Jones, and it came down, and he was the closest receiver, but there were 3 red jerseys around there.
I think it was a desperation pass by Jones. Just threw it in the air.
Well, he threw it in the right direction. Unfortunately, nobody could come up with it. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Somersworth.
Oh,
Wait, Jason Pluff breaking away for the 2nd time this afternoon. 50, 45, 40, 30. Getting out last him, yes indeed, down to the 10, to the 5, and brought in for the touchdown, Jason Pluff, with his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 2nd big breakaway.
You talk about eating real estate. He did it in 2 plays.
Wow, Jason Pluff. And he covered 79 yards, roughly, Jim?
Right on the dot. And you talk about wheels and speed.
Boy, oh boy.
As we mentioned time and time again, Somersworth has 5 backs that can run. But you got to give a lot of credit to that offensive team and that defensive team.
So Somersworth jumps out in front, 12-7. They'll go for the point after, and they'll go for the 2 this time. They tried the 1 on the last possession, and it was unsuccessful. Strong, rolling out and looking. Looking in the end zone. This is open receiver, and that's complete for the 2 points. Mike Chapman wide open, and it's complete from Kevin Strong to Mike Chapman for the 2, and the Toppers take the lead 14-7. So quickly the momentum turns with 8:57 to play in the first half. As we check our Care Pharmacy scoreboard, Somersworth 14, Laconia 7. We'll return right after these messages.
That's the sound of a popular restaurant. Popular because of the food. When you go out to eat, you want food that's fresh and delicious. And at Flanagan's Restaurant at the Tri-City Plaza, you get it, and plenty of it. Plus, Flanagan's gives super service with the most super waitresses. Always friendly and always courteous. For lunch or dinner, it's the best buy for your money. Open 7 days a week. It's everyone's choice for a casual treat. Flanagan's Restaurant, Tri-City Plaza in Somersworth.
Oh, very quickly the tide has turned here in Laconia as the Somersworth Hilltoppers very quickly stop a Laconia drive deep in their own territory. And then on the first play from scrimmage, the big run by Jason Pluff, 79 yards. The point after is good for 2, and it's 14-7 Somersworth. Taken deep by Chris Snyder. Snyder not going anywhere.
Boy, there, look at that.
Oh,
Charlie, they're pumped up.
Boy, they are. The Toppers are really flying now.
He got that number, trying to get his number on that.
Yeah, in on the tackle, looked like Mike Gilmet in there. So Laconia this time deep in their own territory. With 8:50 to play in the first half, Somersworth has the lead. Rick Deschanes with the tackle. And boy, they are flying, the Hilltoppers, after taking the lead for the first time in the ball game. Jason Pluff with 2 long touchdown runs. One of them on a pass play, the other breaking away from at scrimmage, taking it 79 yards. So let's see what Aaron Jones has for an offensive series this time.
Open.
Still on his feet and breaking away is Jason Shute. Broke a couple of tackles. And we'll see where they mark it. Looks like it's going to be about the 27-yard line, short of the first down.
Scott Brown in on that tackle on a twist and turning of Shute.
It'll be 2nd and 2, so a gain of 8 for Jason Shute. How quickly the tide and the momentum turn. To use one of Jim Fabiano's worn-out cliches, boy, that momentum really changes.
Momentum and enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm, that's right. And the Hilltoppers are certainly showing it now. Scott Jaguar picking up a couple. Should be enough for the first down, and it is. So again, Laconia grinding out the yardage on the ground.
We had Derek Carrigan limping off the field, hoping he's okay.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for Laconia. Jason Mead split wide to the left. Going to keep it again, Aaron Jones. It's down to what, the 39. Oh, he gets clobbered and knocked out of bounds.
Chapman in on there.
Like Chapman all over quarterback Aaron Jones on the tackle.
He was hit hard. Chapman, Eric Gilbert also went on the play.
Tony Fletcher helping out as well. But it is a 9-yard pickup for Aaron Jones, and it'll be a 2nd and 1 from the 39-yard line. Grinding out 8-9 yards a carry. Problem for Laconia is you got to put it in the end zone. Matt Geyer wide to the left.
In the air.
Back to pass, looking plenty of time. Takes a little too much time, and Jones gets smushed in there by Derek Carrigan. Carrigan just stomped on Jones. Jones had plenty of time, couldn't find an open receiver, and just took a little more time than he should have, and saw nothing but white jerseys with blue numerals coming at him.
You know, we're talking about quick feet of the backfield, but that line, the offensive line, also has speed of really going in on those backs.
It'll be 3rd and 5 for Laconia. Ball at the 35-yard line, their own 35-yard line. Again, Geyer wide to the left. Again, yes. Jones wants to throw, looking, and it's complete to Snyder. The bench goes toppling over. Snyder catches it just inside of the sideline, and they'll mark it for another first down at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, that was close to an interception on that last play.
Pretty good pass play from Jones to Snyder. Bench goes toppling over. One of the team managers for Laconia on the bench went over as well. Fortunately, nobody injured. All present and accounted for. And it's a 1st and 10 for Laconia. All at the 43-yard line. Pitch out. Jaguar trying to turn the corner on the right. He does. Down to the 50-yard line, midfield, and 48-yard line. He's finally pushed out of bounds.
Well, I guess you can call him a scrambling quarterback.
No, that wasn't the quarterback. That was Jaguar on the handoff.
Did he pass it off?
Yeah, he dished it out.
Sorry about that.
So Jaguar also picking up some impressive yardage. And again, Laconia continues to mount up those 7- and 8-yard pickups. It's a 2nd and 2 situation at the 49-yard line of Somersworth. The Sachems breaking into Hilltopper territory. 2nd and 2, 6:19 to play. Clock stopped because of the play going out of bounds. This time he breaks through for enough for the first down. This Jason Shute.
39.
And they grind it forward again. Another first down for Laconia.
Chris York in on that tackle.
1st and 10 from the 42-yard line.
Top is playing a 3-3 defensive back.
Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Somersworth leading at 14-7. 2 Jason Pluff touchdowns. Handoff from Jones is to Jaguar again, turning, breaking forward, 39-yard line, and being brought down on the play.
Bob Goslin.
And also on the bottom of the pile, being assisted as he gets up slowly, is Eric Gilbert. And another pickup of 4 yards on the play by Jaguar. And it'll be 2nd and 6. Ball at the 39-yard line of Somersworth. Toppers leading it by 7 points, 14-7. Laconia scored first. Toppers came right back. Takes the handoff, plenty of time. Jones looking downfield, finds his intended receiver, and it's complete.
Good defensive play.
So the pass play is complete to Jason Shute.
34.
Picks up a couple on the play. Not a great deal, though, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
I believe that was Mike Gilmet in on that great defensive play.
So a 3rd and 4 situation from the 37-yard line of Somersworth.
So we call this another big play coming up for the sections.
Snyder wide to the left. And might be a delay of game call.
That illegal procedure. Offside.
Offside against Laconia, and that's going to hurt. It was a 3rd and 4. Now it'll be a 3rd and 9.
You know, that's one rule I'd like to see Federation get away with. Even before the ball is snapped, if he just lines up offside, they throw the flag.
Being the longtime supporter of the NHIAA that you are, Jim, I think you should probably recommend that to Jim Damaris, who does an outstanding job as the dictator of that federation. And all of his lieutenants. Fine organization. They'll be overthrown right after they finish with the Soviet Union. Jones looking deep, and it's off the fingertips.
Boy, that was almost an interception.
Oh, boy, yes, sirree. Just off the fingertips of the defensive back for Somersworth.
12.
Number 4, was that 12 or 14, Jim? It was either Tony Filetra
I had Tony.
or Tommy O'Connor. But they broke it up nicely, and it becomes a 4th and 9 situation. And thus far, the biggest play of the ball game for the Sachems of Laconia High School.
Well, if they have any bags of tricks, now's the time to pull them.
Big 4th down play for Laconia.
They're going for it.
3:55. Ball is at the 42-yard line. And we got a timeout. Who's going to call it? Timeout, Somersworth.
So how do you figure this, Charlie? You got 4th down. You're on, what, the 43-yard, 42-yard line?
You're going to have to wait till we come back from our commercial break before I tell you. 3:55 remaining in the first half. Our Care Pharmacy scoreboard shows us that Somersworth leads it by a score of 14-7 over Laconia. We'll be right back.
For several generations, Arthur's Market has been a landmark institution to the Rochester community. So many depend on Arthur's for only the choicest cuts of meat. And look at the variety of selections, all top grade and prepared with careful expertise just for you. It's the best by far. Arthur's is also well known to people who care about quality produce, fresh, plump, delicious. Just come in and discover the difference and the bounty. Don't forget that Arthur's makes up party platters to order as well as packaged freezer buys. Open 7 days a week, it's Arthur's Market serving the greater Rochester area.
Well, Jim, as you ask, what do you do on a play like this? You air it out. You look for the wide receiver, Chris Snyder. Jones has shown that he has the ability to throw it deep, and to hit Snyder. He's got Snyder split wide to the right. Now they're going into a shotgun formation.
Now they get it deep,
appears to be a punting formation, so I guess that's what they're going to do. Bad snap, but he gets away a nice high spiral, and it's going to come down to the 15-yard line. 14 and down by Laconia. So they really don't pull any surprises. They go to the conservative route. Coach Jim Fitzgerald decides to punt it, and they send Somersworth deep in their own territory. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line.
I thought I detected he signaled for a fair catch.
Now, why not go for the bomb at this point? Well, I guess he figures 3:46 is a little bit too much time to gamble.
Well,